So was that just, when you wrote this particular poem, was that just something that you just felt in the moment? Because sometimes you get your inspiration from different ways, or was it something that was personal as well?
It definitely was something I felt in the moment, but I've had a lot of moments of not loving myself. Like, I'm in a space now to where it's still difficult to love myself. Like, it's a journey. Like, I would say, like, I wasn't even really aware of needing to love myself till probably about 2020. And so since I've been kind of like actively trying to like flip that switch from self-hate to self-love, it's just been a journey. And it just happened that's where I was at in that part of the journey. And like, I wrote about it and I expressed it. And like, it really was a relief after I wrote it. Like, it kind of helped me just breathe a little bit, because being honest, like, I've battled with, like, around the time I wrote it, I definitely was battling with like alcoholism. Like, I used to be like a heavy drinker and just trying to suppress emotions. And then sometimes, not even sometimes, you can suppress all you want to. I promise you, it's going to pour out of you. Mm-hmm. And so that was just one of those moments to where like it just kind of poured out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that was being as relatable, even though that wasn't your intention. Mm-hmm. But have you heard about Book Authority's best new podcasting book winner, which is Dr. Tina J. Ramsay, for her book, The Power of Podcasting, Unlocking Tips and Strategies for Podcasting Success. This book is your podcasting coach in a book. She is sharing so many strategies. This book reached #1 twice on Amazon for new release and best-selling book. So go ahead to CTRMediaNetwork.com to purchase your copy today, or simply place your order on CTR Media Network. Is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com. Hello, everybody. I am Dr. Tina J. Ramsay, the host of the Tina Ramsay Show and podcast, powered by CTR Media Network, and we are live at the Hush No More Domestic Violence and Health Fair event here in Irmo, South Carolina, and we are bringing on you already saw this young man, earlier when we was live streaming. However, when I saw him walking, I said, now, you got to come take a seat, brother. You got to take a seat so that you can understand the thought processes behind that incredible poem that it was mixed. It was like poetry, then it was singing. It was very artistic. So it wasn't like a regular poem. Yeah. So how did you create it, and where did that come from? Because it was very different in the way you delivered it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I've been doing music since I was about 16 years old. Mm-hmm. And music and poetry to me kind of like go hand in hand. I write like R&B songs, I write rap songs, I just love to write. So I was stationed in Turkey. I'm prior Air Force, and I was stationed in Turkey at Incirlik Air Base. And it just really kind of came about. Like, I really like to write about my personal struggles and the things that I go through. So I was just really in a space of like not loving myself. So the first half really came first. Like, the first half came from like, you could just kind of hear me beating myself up in the poem, like just going through all of these things, going through all these emotions, whether they be internal or external. And then like, weeping may come in the night, but joy comes in the morning. So it was like I had to flip it to get us to a better positive space, which is how it happens in life all the time. Like, you go through things, like, you feel low, and then like God has a things to just turn things around, has a way of just turning things around. Mm-hmm. So it really just came from me being in a mental space of just genuinely not loving myself, feeling like I'm not enough, feeling like just so distressed, feeling like so anxious, feeling like everyone's pointing down on me. All of these things just came together and put me in this negative mind space. And then I was just able to kind of turn it into a positive of, loving yourself.
I love it. And you was right. It was almost like a roller coaster ride, because, when you first start a roller coaster ride, it's kind of smooth. And then once you start really getting into it, it starts getting a little bumpy, a little shaky. But then I like the way that you redirected. And then when you took us on this emotional roller coaster, but in a positive way, because you redirected our emotions. You took us on emotions that are very familiar, feeling no self-worth, feeling like no one cares, not really sure about how you feel about yourself. And then you're taking us through, I would say, I felt like I was getting a window, standing to the window of your life for a small second. And I was able to see it, but yet I was able to reflect and see part of myself in it. So was that your goal when you created this?
Whenever I create, my main goal is to be true to myself and like express the feelings that I go through. So I've been told that like, you know, a lot of my content is relatable, and I think that's just comes from like the authenticity of it. Like, you know, like I didn't necessarily write this for other people to resonate with it. I really was just kind of like, you know, spilling myself out. But at the same time, I am so happy that like a lot of people can resonate with it, and like, you know, they can take a message away, and hopefully, you know, they take away that message of self-love and just, you know, are able to take it with them and move forward with life. So it wasn't really my goal to necessarily inspire people. I really was just writing. I remember the day I wrote it, like I was really, really sad, and I was just sitting there, and it just started coming out really. Mm-hmm. So and when things like that happen, I kind of view it as like just kind of God in the pen. Like whenever I have so many emotions and I just put the words out, I think that's just really God just kind of speaking through me. And I'm just thankful that He allowed me to be a vessel to spread such a positive message.
Well, you definitely did that. And when I think about what you just said, you use your personal experience as a way for you to be able to dig deeper and share your poetry. So was that just, when you wrote this particular poem, was that just something that you just felt in the moment? Because sometimes you get your inspiration from different ways. Or was it something that was personal as well?
It definitely was something I felt in the moment, but I've had a lot of moments of not loving myself. Like I'm in a space now to where it's still difficult to love myself. Like, you know, it's a journey. Like I would say, like I wasn't even really aware of needing to love myself till probably about 2020. And so since I've been kind of like actively trying to like flip that switch from self-hate to self-love, it's just been a journey. And it just happened that's where I was at in that part of the journey. And like, you know, I wrote about it and I expressed it. And like, it really was a relief after I wrote it. Like, it kind of helped me just breathe a little bit. Cause being honest, like, you know, I've battled with like, around the time I wrote it, I definitely was battling with like alcoholism. Like I used to be like a heavy drinker and just trying to suppress emotions. And then sometimes, not even sometimes, you can suppress all you want to. I promise you, it's going to pour out of you. Mm-hmm. And so that was just one of those moments to where like, it just kind of poured out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that was being as relatable, even though that wasn't your intention. Mm-hmm. It was very relatable. So what made you decide to not only come to this event, but be in support of and also share your artistic genius with us today?
So what made me come to the event, I just feel like it's a very beautiful cause that we're supporting. Like in the poem, Self-Love, I talk about like, you know, just how we should love each other. Like even, you know, there are people who aren't kind, there are people who may be disrespectful, there are people who mean you harm. But it's like, just wanted to come out and support that message of like, you know, no matter what you've been through, like love is always waiting there for you. Like you can always choose love. You can always choose love for yourself. You can always choose love for others. Another thing, just to veer off a little bit, like one of my personal things I've been dealing with lately is forgiveness. Mm-hmm. Like it's so hard to forgive people, especially when they're wrong, especially when they don't apologize. Like, but forgiveness is not for the other person. Forgiveness is for you. You're gonna carry around this hate, this hurt, all of this if you don't genuinely forgive people with all of your heart. So coming to the event, I just feel like, you know, it's very much aligned with who I am as a person, who I am as an artist. I very much support the message of like, you know, just getting over that hump of something like tragic and traumatic happening to you. Mm-hmm. Myself, I've been in a few relationships to where like, you know, verbally and physically abused. And that's another part of the reason I came out here is because it can happen to anyone. Like a lot of people think only women are victims of domestic violence, but men can be victims as well. And I've experienced some abuse in my life, and I definitely wanted to be around this good energy of like, you know, perseverance, of overcoming, of just genuine love. So that's what inspired me to really come out here.
Well, I thank you and the bravery that it takes, because you're right. We hear about domestic violence quite a bit because it's like common. Sad to say, but it is. But one thing that is not so common is men sharing their stories. And to be honest, it's more men suffering in silence than I feel like women, because the stigma that is attached to it. So for the fact that you not only came to share your story, to share your artistry, and then you share your story, I thank you, because it's going to give a lot of young men, a lot of young boys who may not even realize that that's the type of dynamic they're in at the moment. So you're giving them representation to also see that they have a way out. And they don't have to be embarrassed or ashamed to feel like, oh, I'm less than a man. No, this happened to men and women, and it don't make you less than up. It's actually make you stronger when you can get out. Yeah. And even if you don't have the bravery right now, you will. Okay, don't give up. Don't give up.
Yeah.
And so,
and another thing I just wanted to share was like just a little bit more about my experience as it pertains to domestic violence. I didn't even really think I was getting like abused. Like, you know, I get my hands put on me, I'm thinking, oh, well, I could take it, or like, you know, oh, it's nothing, or da-da-da. But it's a very serious matter. Like, you can't let people abuse you emotionally or physically. Men can go through emotional abuse as well, I feel. And it's like, I just really want to promote that healthy love. Like, you know, like I feel like a lot of us, not only just men, I am a representation for men, I feel, but just domestic violence in general, I feel like a lot of us get trapped in these situations where we feel like this is the only love we have, or the only love we deserve, or et cetera, et cetera. And I just want everyone to know, like, you know, you deserve a healthy love of self, a healthy love from your partner, a healthy love all around. So, and if you want love, seek God. That's one of my biggest things I say. First and foremost, when you get that awareness that you need a healthy love, go to God first, and God is going to give you everything you need to know about healthy love.
I agree. So please share with the people where they can find you on social media to listen to more of your artistry.
Okay, so on social media, Facebook, I'll be Checkmate The Lyricist. That's T-H-A Checkmate The Lyricist. Instagram, Checkmate_The Lyricist. I'm on all streaming platforms, Apple Music, Spotify. I do music as well. So Checkmate The Lyricist, T-H-A, and then go to our website, nomankingent.com. Mm-hmm. That's nomankingent.com. We have merchandise. If you want to contact me to get in, to have me do any events or anything like that, you could contact us through the website. Again, you can see some merchandise. You can keep up with music. So nomankingent.com is kind of going to be everything you need. But on social medias, as Checkmate The Lyricist as well.
Well, thank you for coming to the event and participating, sharing your story. And also, many times we don't get to hear the thought process behind some of these works of art that we hear or that we see. So it's good to hear your thought processes on how you came up with, because it was really powerful. I mean, I couldn't do everything I wanted to do because I was working, but I was like, oh, okay. And so when I saw y'all, like,
I very much appreciate the support, man. Like, and again, like, when I wrote it, I really wasn't expecting it to, like, you know, touch people the way that it's touched. It really was just as a self-expression. So to see so many people resonate with it and, like, you know, just support it, I'm truly honored, and I'm thankful to God.
Well, keep up the good work, and we can't wait to see you. I know you coming back at Hush No More now.
Oh, definitely.
Okay. I'm just making sure now, because, you know, we're gonna be looking for you. I'm gonna be looking for you because I'm gonna be here. All right, so you guys, another amazing sit-down interview. So you know what I always say every time we get together, or if no one told you today that you matter, that you are worthy, that you are special, and that you are loved, I want you to know that I love you. And I want you to do what? Until the next time you see us on this screen, I want you to do what? Keep smiling. Okay, I'll see you same time, same place next week on the Tina Ramsay Show, powered by CTR Media Network. Because it's time for you to come share, shine, and grow on the Tina Ramsay Show. See you next week.